Hi, I'm Jeff Goodman and welcome to Scubapro.com. It's fairly windy. I thought summer was well and truly here, but a little setback. The swell is up and the wind is quite rough on the north and south coast. Little protected bay here, a few seals in it. And today I'm going to be trying out the little mini reel and SMB from Scubapro. Well, that turned out to be quite a nice dive in the end. Managed to get out of the swell and the visibility was not too bad. Lots of bits in the water, but it was okay. The Scubapro mini reel and SMB. Let's look at the SMB first. I find this one quite a good size. It's about 5 foot in length, for those of you that remember the old measurements. Good strong colours, easily seen by people at the surface. And it actually has written on it, diver below. You wouldn't believe how many people in small boats will come up to a buoy and pull on it, thinking there's a lobster pot or something on the other end. So it's quite handy to let them know that there is actually a diver attached. It's a good size also in that it's relatively easy to fill with air. If you get an SMB that's too big, it does take a lot of air to fill it. Too small and it can be difficult to see on the surface in very rough seas. A nice feature on this is the oral inflation. It allows you to control the air going into the SMB. Quite often when you unwrap it, if you're in a current or swell, the whole thing can wave about and collapse, and it's very difficult sometimes to get it vertically for you to be able to fully inflate it. Putting a little bit of air in it through the oral inflator is a great thing to be able to do. However, having said that, if your lips are cold, it is actually quite hard to blow through it. You find that the air actually comes out the sides of your cheeks instead of going in. Nevertheless, it's quite a nice little addition. Having done that, if you're in calm conditions, just blowing it up partially by mouth is adequate. It'll go to the surface nice and controlled. You can let the line out and people at the surface know where you are. If it's rough seas, as I mentioned before, you probably need to inflate it fully, and to do this you need really to use your regulator. Open up the bottom, has good rigid supports so that you can hold it open with one hand, and then use your regulator or spare regulator to inflate. It's not an easy thing to do. I looked on YouTube for the best method of inflating SMBs to see what was recommended, and Paddy and British Scubapro Club, everybody has different ways of doing this. In the end, it's what suits you, it's what works for you is best. But do practice, do get advice, do go to your instructor, go to a dive school and ask them the best way to deploy your SMB. What can happen is you can fill the whole thing with air very quickly and easily through with your regulator, but having done that, the possibilities are the whole thing will just shoot to the surface quickly, taking the reel with it. Or if you're attached, which you shouldn't be, then it's going to pull you up with it. So practice, practice, practice. So important. Nice little extra addition on the SMB itself is this little dump valve, so you can get the water out easily or let air out. Looking at the reel, it's a normal reel, but with the addition of some fold-away side handles, one on either side. This makes it very easy to wind the line in and also to let the line out. For me, however, there is a slight problem in that I am used to putting my thumb and finger in the holes of the mini reel so that when the SMB goes up, it releases and it can spin through my fingers. Can't do that with this one because the handles are taking up the central hole. So it is important that you do get the handles, or certainly one handle out ready. Put your thumb over the line to stop it spooling out onto the floor. Fire off your SMB and then control how you let the line out. Then as you're coming up, you can use the handle. I mean, all in all, it's a great idea having the handles. I quite like it. It does make it easier for coming up the line and winding everything in. The mini reel and the SMB from Scubapro.